And what is up, Bears fans and brawlers alike? The Brawl Network has officially launched as of March 1st on Sunday. If you guys didn't see it, it was all over social media. Launched hashtag Brawl Network, was trending in Chicago for a while. That was pretty cool to see. But we launched the website. You can go to www.thebrawlnetwork.com and check out all our features. We've got everything from sports gambling and fantasy football to NFL teams to MLB, XFL, everything alike. We've got a ton of merchandise under our shop tab. A lot of awesome merchandise. You can go in, make an account, and participate in our message board. You can leave comments under our articles. Let us know how they're doing, and you can roll from there. It's a great website, really interactive. A lot of fun, and you guys can check it out now. Check out some awesome news and have fun with it. Lots of work put into it for sure. I don't think I left my laptop since Thursday, but now we're rolling. We're starting to get into a groove with the website up, and we are excited for you guys to go check it out. So again, make sure to check it out. It's awesome. www.thebrawlnetwork.com. You guys for sure won't, you guys for sure won't hate it. If you guys will love it.
You're definitely not going to hate it.
But if you go to, there's a Chicago Bears page that has some recent Bears articles and all our Chicago Bears podcasts that you can check out. It's awesome. A lot of work went into it. A lot of issues that we had to overcome, and we finally got there. And we got retweets from guys like Teron Davenport. Olin Kreutz tweeted out hashtag Brawl Network. That was fucking sick. We had some big guys. One of the guys from Deezus, I think, right from that YouTube show. He's got almost 1 million followers on Twitter. Follow the Brawl Network. We got shouted out from a lot of different people. Michael Lombardi, who Bears fans hate, gave us a shout out even. So that was cool to see. That was cool to see. It was a great day on Sunday. Lots of hard work that paid off. So it was really cool to see. Again, here is my left-hand man filling in for my right-hand man, Danny Corkin. It is Blake Hanatho. You can follow him at Blake Hanatho on Twitter. And, of course, I am your co-host, Austin Fugelsay. You can find me on Twitter at Uncle Mike21. Blake, how's it going? How are you feeling? Long weekend, ready to get back to it.
Yeah, very long weekend, but I'm happy to be here recording another episode right now. Big football weekend, though, scouting combine. That's kind of the gears are officially turning in terms of the NFL offseason. And, we heard a lot of news this week, and it wasn't just all about the rookies and all about the draft. There's the hot stove is turning. Free agency talks, trade talks, guys are getting put on the block. Tags are not being picked up. You're hearing guys that will get tagged. And over the course of March here, as we get into free agency, I think in March 16th and 17th was when the tampering period begins. It's only going to heat up even more. So it's really going to be a fun month here in March. And, April's going to be awesome too. And get some good stuff going before the dog days of June and July before training camp.
It's funny. It's crazy because we've been so busy with covering sports and making this network and stuff. And I was watching TV for because I didn't leave my house for like 3 days from helping make this website. And I took my fiance Corey out to dinner, and I looked on the TV, and they had like college basketball conference tournaments, and I was like, oh my God, March Madness is right around the corner. So my favorite time of the year, and I was like, oh my God, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
We're getting right into the prime time of spring sports. You've got baseball, you've got basketball winding down, hockey winding down, March Madness is coming alive, and then the draft in April. Free agency hasn't even hit yet, so we're rolling right now. But let's hit on this combine here. We had lots of stock going up, lots of stock going down. We saw a punter put up 25 reps on bench press, which is absurd. I don't know. Good for him.
Unreal.
He's doing both upper body and lower body, so good for him.
He's got a little Pat O'Donnell in him.
Does Patty O do that shit? Like
Patty O had more reps on the bench press than Jadeveon Clowney in that draft.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
He got a little Patty O.
Absurd. Oh my God, he's got some Patty O energy. That's insane. Pat should have gave him a shout out on Twitter. That would have been
honestly. I think he ended up doing more reps than Patty O, maybe too. 25 so
hey, impressive.
These punters are competitive too. They're trying to get it.
He's gonna be drafted as a punter. He's gonna take over as a quarterback because he can throw like 70 yards down the field.
Hey, he might have a case. Who
knows?
But yeah,
we saw who was it? Henry Ruggs run a 4.3. So Josh,
like 4.27, I think it was. So a little less than 4.3. Yeah.
John Ross's record was it?
His record stands. Yep, at 4.22.
4.22, I believe. Yeah, his record stands. I don't know anyone who's going to beat that. To be honest.
That's gonna be tough, man. But the thing is they showed it side by side with Chris Johnson when he ran the 40, and Chris Johnson ran a 4.24, and it looks like Chris Johnson finished before John Ross. So
wow, yeah, and it's
really
hard
run a
to get those
4.22?
exact. It's hard to get those exacts, but you also got yeah, I saw a linebacker ran a 4.3, I think, or a
Isaiah
4.
Simmons.
Isaiah Simmons, that's
4.39.
right.
Unbelievable athlete.
Wow.
Unbelievable
Oh,
player.
his spider chart was absurd. Did you see it?
I didn't see the spider
His
chart.
spider
No.
chart literally hit all the corners of percentiles.
Jeez.
It was
Wow.
insane. The
Wow.
dude's
Yeah,
a
he's
monster.
incredible.
The dude's
Unbelievable
a
player.
monster.
Ben Barch, the lineman from St. John's, Division III guy, his protein shake, that was the talk of the combine. It's like he was 7 scrambled eggs and something, like cottage cheese and like Gatorade and peanut butter or something like that. Just all like, how do you? That's a meal. That's more than a meal. Like, bro, if I'm making eggs, I'm making like 2 eggs max. This man puts 7 scrambled eggs in a shake,
and he doesn't even cook them.
No, he scrambles them. I'm pretty sure. Oh, does he not cook them? Oh, he just scrambles them up.
Protein shake. Yeah, he just puts them in his protein
okay,
shake.
So, oh my God.
Yeah,
I mean, that sounds disgusting.
That's
That'll
yoked,
definitely
bro.
get you to gain weight because he went from a tight end to an offensive lineman in like a year and a half.
Got to put the Gatorade in there to get rid of the flavor.
That gives you a little bit of taste, right? But how you're telling me one Gatorade bottle is going to overcome 7 eggs, cottage cheese, peanut butter? Like, like how can that? I mean, hey, give him credit.
But I can't even think of that.
Cottage cheese, absolutely not. I'm out on cottage cheese.
Let's talk a little bit about some combine news, some stocks for the Bears that we're taking a look at. Starting at tight end, I know you've got some words on both Notre Dame guys. One's a wide receiver, one's a tight end. So, take it away.
Well, Cole Kmet, I kind of said last week, if he runs between that 4.7 and 4.8 range at that size, it's going to be pretty incredible. And sure enough, he ran a 4.7, which is awesome for him. I think he really separated himself as probably the number 1 tight end in this class. And then you got Chase Claypool, a guy that they've talked about switching a tight end. I mean, you've seen his draft stock go up an insane amount over this past weekend. I mean, he's 6'4", 238. He ran a 4.42. He's got a 40-inch vertical and 126 inches on the broad jump. I don't know what that is in feet, but that's absolutely incredible. He was kind of the talk of that day just because you weren't really sure. He was kind of considered a mid-round guy at one point, and then he comes in and he just dominates. A lot of guys are comparing him to Evan Ingram now just because of that speed-size combination, and I wouldn't mind the Bears to get him. I mean, I think he could play either tight end or wide receiver. If you are looking to him at tight end, I don't know how good his blocking is necessarily going to be, if you could even play him in line, just because he was a wide receiver. But it was a really good showing for those guys. And, we're starting to get a little bit more clarity on who the Bears might go after. Because, you get a little bit of tidbits here about the meetings that they have. I know they met with Bryson Hopkins again. Adam Troutman was another guy they met with.
I just have a feeling that they're going to go for Adam Troutman. Like, I really do. And they're going to get another Adam.
I mean, from what I'm reading, it seems that he is a lot better. Like, granted, I haven't even really watched much highlights. I've seen his size. I saw him work out a little bit, but I don't know much about him. But he's a big guy. It's just really worrisome, with the whole Adam Shaheen thing.
I know.
Bears fans are scarred from that.
There's options, though, man. I'm telling you, Chase Claypool, like, he went up. He moved up for sure, but he didn't move crazy far up the draft. You know what I mean? Like, I think he moved up, but I think you can get him in the third or I think you can get him in the mid rounds. I still think he's going to be there.
Second, third round might be his range. Like, it would be pretty crazy if he went second round, but if he's there on the board in third round, I'm sure a team could take a chance
with the wide receiver depth. Do you still think he's taken in the third round?
I'm saying it could happen. I don't know if it will happen, but the thing is, there's gonna be a team that sees that size and speed combination, and they're gonna want to take a chance on him. Like the Patriots, I could see being a team because they need tight ends and wide receivers. They're not really in a spot where they can really, not go after a playmaker on that offense. And, that guy can fit potentially either one of those. So I think third round, just with that, the traits alone are going to get him into that spot. It's not a guarantee by any means, but I came away really impressed with him. I know he didn't play a ton at Notre Dame. He played some, but he wasn't like their go-to guy necessarily. So it's going to be interesting to see. Can't talk to it.
And I do want to ask you, would you rather draft someone like Chase Claypool, who would be a project, or would you rather draft a tight end? Because regardless of who we draft, the odds of them performing right away is very slim, as we've seen over the years and years and years of rookie tight ends. It just takes a while to get used to. Would you rather have a guy like Chase Claypool Or would you rather have a guy like Cole Kmet or Bryson Hopkins?
I think I would rather go right now with the position the Bears are in. I think Cole Kmet or Bryson Hopkins is probably the way to go. I really do like Chase Claypool, and I wouldn't really even be upset if they get drafted him over those two guys. But at the same time, I think Cole Kmet and Hopkins, they've played a little bit more in line. They've played tight end for most of their career. And, like I said, Claypool could still be a wide receiver. Like, he's not guaranteed to move to the tight end spot. So I think with those guys, you get a guy that knows the position, has played there, and it might be a little bit less of a development timeline for one of those guys versus a Chase Claypool. So I think that's probably the way I personally would go.
Yeah, I feel you on that. It's interesting. It depends for me. It depends on what they do in free agency. If they go
That's
out and
going to
get
be a
guy,
big if.
Hunter Henry looks like he's going to get franchise tagged.
Yes.
And obviously we all would have loved him, but I think that was kind of expected. So with Hunter Henry being franchise tagged, Austin Hooper, Eric Ebron, amongst others are there in the free agency. If they don't get a top tier tight end, I think they have to go tight end in the draft. But I really feel like they're going to go less at a quarterback. So they're going to go for a quarterback that's cheaper, and then they're going to go high at a tight end. And then George Kittle gets extended and the market soars. That's what's going to happen, I think. I'd like them to see them sign Austin Hooper for about $12 million. I think that'd be beautiful. And everyone's like, that's super expensive. But then when next year comes around, when free agent tight ends are getting signed for $17, $18 million, I think everyone's going to be okay with the Austin Hooper $12 million, $13 million contract there. But then you can draft someone like Chase Claypool, use him as a wide receiver, but also convert him to a tight end. And then you would have an absurd, because I think Chase Claypool would make a great tight end. You'd have an absurd tight end room if they were able to do that.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. The Austin Hooper thing is tough, just because $12 million is a lot to pay to the tight end, especially when they're already giving Trey Burton around $8 to $9 million a year. So then you're dedicating $21 million of your cap space to that position alone, and that's a lot for the tight end spot. So I mean, Austin Hooper is definitely going to be one of their target. It was actually reported this weekend, and they could be in a potential bidding war with the Packers, because the Packers are another team that are doing a lot of work on tight ends, not only in the draft, but are said to be interested in the free agent market as well. But that's the Bears really do have to rebuild the entire tight end room, and if they go out and sign a guy like Eric Ebron even, and then draft a guy, something has to happen. I wouldn't mind that either way. $12 million is a lot, but Austin Hooper, with the type of production he put up last year, and with how much this Bears offense seems to need a guy that can do something at that position, I think that would be either way. They can't really go wrong there. They have to address it.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's the same way I feel about like tight end, where it's like make a frickin' just go get someone and sign them for a lot of money. Do the same thing for quarterback, because it just hasn't worked in the past. Everyone, it just seems like Pace is trying to be too cute, filling up some really premier skill spot positions when we should be focused on the most important position in football, which is quarterback, and we should be spending money there. But now that the tight end room is down, unfortunately, if Trey Burton wasn't in the picture, I think it'd be easy. But unfortunately, that Trey Burton's in the picture, it's going to be tough. That's why Demetrius Harris was signed on the team. If he makes roster, he'd be there to help block, because currently we don't have any blocking tight ends. It'll be interesting to see what happens with guys like J.P. Holtz, and guys like that who were starting, who weren't slated to start originally, but then came on and kind of produced throughout the year. It's going to be interesting to see who our tight end one is to start the season for sure. If Trey Burton's healthy and he is actually good to go, I'm not opposed to it, but I just think we need someone else. And it's going to be interesting to see. Knowing Ryan Pace, we're probably going to throw out all these names, and he's going to pick someone that no one said. So that's probably what's going to happen.
I mean, he picked Adam Shaheen. Nobody knew him.
Absolutely. But anyway, any more combine stuff to go over besides, I don't even know. Joe Burrow's
Bears met with a decent amount of people. They met with Jake Fromm, which is very interesting. I would be pretty frustrated as a fan if they were to take him in the second round.
I would be too. I would be as well. Danny would not. Danny loves
Jake
those
Fromm,
SEC guys.
Yeah, he does. But he wasn't very impressive at the combine. His arm strength isn't a strength of his. But he's smart. That's what they talk about, is football IQ. And that's good maybe for a backup. And that's what I think Jake Fromm might ultimately be. He might be a guy that's a 10-year backup and then transitions into coaching. But I just can't see the Bears making that move to be the guy that pushes Trubisky. I don't see it. I think there's too many holes on the roster for them to go after him. I mean, if somehow he falls and you got him in the 4th round potentially, I wouldn't be opposed to that. But those 2 second round picks are just too crucial, and you can't waste that on a quarterback that a lot of people don't even are not that impressed with.
Do you know who else had not the best skill set but had a very high IQ?
Let's hear it.
It's Mitch Trubisky. It's the same way. We've been hearing it for how long?
Oh, that's not true. That's not.
What?
Who said that?
He doesn't have skill.
That's why he got drafted so early, is because of his traits, because he was athletic, because of his arm.
It's because he showed the most promise. Jake Fromm's the same way. I feel like Jake Fromm is the same way. He proposes not the strongest arm, but he proposes a decently high IQ of football. And
is Mitch Trubisky's football IQ that high though?
Are you okay? Hold on. You're asking me if a professional quarterback 3 years.
Okay, but there's
from.
Oh, but I'm just saying, Mitch Trubisky was a 1-year starter. He started 14 games. Jake Fromm is a 3-year starter. He's played in national championships. I think his football IQ is very much higher than Mitch Trubisky. Matt Nagy said in his press conference that Trubisky's got to become a master of watching film and being able to diagnose a defense.
Dude,
that right there tells me that he doesn't have a high. What?
He does watch film.
He does watch film, but I'm telling you, I don't think his football IQ is on that level of most professional quarterbacks.
It's just not there. You could say someone has a football IQ, but then when they get to the league, it's totally different.
But the thing is, Mitch Trubisky has all the athletic traits. So what is it then? Is it mental? I mean, athletically, he has all the traits. He can throw the football. We know he can. He's been accurate. That was his biggest, one of his biggest strengths coming out of college. And I think right now we're just seeing that he's not able to process a defense fully. So I'm not convinced that his football IQ is on the same level as a Jake Fromm. I think that Trubisky is probably better athletic. He's definitely better athletically. That's a fact. I just, football IQ can only take you so far. And that's kind of
that's what I'm trying to say. If Jake Fromm has football IQ, that's great. But how far is his skills going to take him? That's what I'm saying.
Well, in Trubisky, that's the same kind of thing. It's like he's got talent, but he doesn't have the football IQ maybe. So that's like, the talent can only get you so far if you're not able to break down film or know exactly what you're seeing on the defensive side of the ball.
I don't know.
You're telling me that Mitch Trubisky has a high football IQ? You think he has a high football IQ?
I think he knows what he's going on, but he can't process it. I think he knows. I think when he watches film,
but if he can't process it, that's instincts. That's like football IQ. He's not processing it.
I don't know. Would that be? I don't know if that be considered.
If he's not processing what he's seeing on the field,
I bet you can sit Mitchell Trubisky down, show him a defense, and he could tell you the exact same thing someone like Peyton Manning or Brett Favre would tell you. But when it's I'm just telling you. No, you need to listen.
Oh my goodness! Listen. You just compared Mitchell Trubisky.
I did not.
That's exactly what you just did.
Listen, you could put any quarterback down who's played at college or professional level and show them a defense, and they will tell you the exact same thing every time where the ball needs to go. But if you put them in live action play, they will not be able to do it. So what is determined as football IQ and what is not?
Well, that's obviously you don't really know what's going on behind closed doors. But if you watch Mr. Trubisky play football, he's been a one-read quarterback. He doesn't survey the field, and that's a football IQ thing. That's a fact. Matt Nagy, in his press conference at the Combine, said that he needs to be a master at diagnosing pass coverages and watching film. That's a football IQ thing.
Okay.
And granted, I don't know Mitch Trubisky. I'm not in the film room. This is just me going off what I hear and what I see on the field.
Talk to people that talk about his work ethic. I mean,
I'm not doubting his work ethic. I think he works hard, but at the same time, it's clear that that's the issue. And Matt Nagy brought that up in his press conference. I don't think he brought that up for no reason. I mean, physically, we know Trubisky has it.
It's interesting because if you talk about football IQ, now I don't know, because it's like if you talk about football IQ, does that include the processing in the middle of a play, or does that include if you show someone a picture of a defense?
Picture of a defense, that's fine, but like also football IQ also goes in when you snap the ball. What you're reading the linebackers. All right, this linebacker goes out. I'm going to throw the ball underneath. You know what I mean? It's being able to process. It's a combination of a lot of things. It's pre-snap. It's during the snap. It's looking into the next play. It's all that. It's a combination of things.
All right. You content. This
there we go.
That was
great. That's
that
why
was,
we debate.
So
That's why we talk sports.
You convinced me. Now I get it. So processing is under football IQ. It's the same thing. Honestly, I'm trying to. It's tough because obviously playing golf in college, I'm trying to say, all right, golf IQ. How does that where does that fall in? It's the same fucking thing. If you take a backswing, you don't feel it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a bad shot. It's IQ. So that makes sense. You convinced me.
I guess in a you're physically swinging. Okay, I get what you're saying with that. I think that's a little bit different.
Say that. Don't give in. Don't give in.
Oh my goodness. All right. Let's move on. Debate for another time. That was good. That was good.
That was awesome. That was great. All right, so let's move on to some more Bears.
Yeah, need a cigarette after that.
Yeah, you were about to. Now everyone's gonna think you're a chain smoker.
No cigarettes for this guy.
Yeah, Blake was very mad at me.
Because I just think that is the thing that holds Trubisky back most of all, is his ability. And I'm not going to go back down now. We just talked about that.
No,
I just think that's a big thing holding him back.
So speaking of Trubisky, Andy Dalton and Derek Carr have both been rumored to move to Chicago. Now, it seems like Derek Carr was just kind of a ploy, and he was just messing around with everybody on Instagram because, I think he came out and said that he was just trolling with people.
His brother said something like that.
Yeah, his brother.
David Carr, yeah.
Yep. And so that was interesting, but it's intriguing because if you were able to reconstruct his contract, he'd be under $10 million a year with obviously a signing bonus. He'd be around $8 million, and then you can sign on bonus the rest. So the cap hit isn't very big. He'd come in, he'd quote unquote push Trubisky, but he'd probably take over as the starter before the season starts. And you probably wouldn't have to spend much on him, to be honest. If the Raiders are looking to shop him, it probably wouldn't take much. Just a pick or two.
Actually, that's one of those second-round picks is what I heard.
Oh,
which would be tough, but I think it would be worth it at this point.
Well, yeah, and then there's of course Andy Dalton, who I think seems like a more real possibility. I'm hearing I have a buddy who's really tied in, and he's telling me the Bears are front runners right now for Andy Dalton. So give or take how that feels. I don't know, Blake, how would that make you feel as a Bears fan if the quarterback addition this year was Andy Dalton?
Well, it's certainly not super sexy, but I don't think it's any secret here. I think he would step in and be an immediate upgrade over Mitch Trubisky. I think he's a veteran guy. He knows Bill Lazor, and he'll be able to come in and at least be competent to a certain extent. I mean, the guy's been to multiple playoffs. Hasn't won any because that's just kind of what the Bengals do. They go to the wild card round and they lose their first game. It's just kind of in their nature. But, I don't mind him. But at the same time, I don't feel that they need to commit to him after this next season. I don't think that even if he puts up the Bears go 10-6, 11-5, or somehow squeezes in a wild card and he doesn't necessarily go crazy. But yeah, it's just, you need somebody because, like I've said before, if Trubisky's the guy and he has a year like he had last year, they're going to lose the locker room. Guys are going to lose faith in the organization. And even a guy like Andy Dalton is a veteran who can step in there. He can be a leader to a certain degree. And it kind of follows that Titans Ryan Tannehill route, I think. I think Derek Carr would be more like a Ryan Tannehill where he has a little bit more upside. But if they're looking for a veteran that's going to come in and push Mitch Trubisky, that would be the route to go. Because even so, Trubisky has a chance of beating out Andy Dalton. You know what I mean? So it's like, if that's the goal.
You don't think so? No, I don't think so at all.
Oh, man, you got me wanting to bring up the other.
I think Dalton's going to kill him.
I think it could, but at the same time, I think going into a training camp, if Andy Dalton and Mitch Trubisky are your guys, I think Trubisky will start with the ones. But then they'll prefer that Trubisky beats him out just because they've invested that number 2 pick in him. They've invested this time in him.
Yes,
I think they would prefer him to be better than Andy Dalton.
Absolutely. But I think it's going to be funny because this is what I think is going to happen. I think we're going to go to training camp, and for those that have been going the past couple of years and that have watched Mitchell Trubisky, I think they're going to go see Mitch throw some drills, and then they're going to see Andy Dalton throw some drills, and it's going to be the first. I'm going to call this right now. If Andy Dalton comes to Chicago, the first day of training camp, there's going to be some kind of video out there or something, and just going, Andy Dalton looks so good. Oh my God, crazy. And everybody's just going to go nuts for the rest of training camp.
Bears Super Bowl back on.
It's going to, Super Bowl back on, and from there. But we'll see. It's going to be, my theory on Andy Dalton is that we've seen what he can do. I just think he hasn't been surrounded. If I'm not mistaken, this will be the best defense he's ever played with if he comes over to Chicago. This will be, he doesn't have an age. Well, he does. This is one of the better receiving cores he's had, if I could say that.
Yeah.
You have
It's up there.
Brandon Marshall is not as good as AJ Green, but then you have someone like, you got Javon Wims out there. Anthony Miller, who's, when healthy, crazy good slot receiver. So we'll have to see. I think he can I really think in a scheme like this, he can put up some really crazy numbers and be really productive. Again, we're looking for an average quarterback.
Yeah, we're not asking for much.
Andy Dalton can do that and more. So
we just need 2018 Mitch Trubisky. That's the kind of numbers they need, and they went 12-4, and they should have won the first game against the Eagles, obviously. So it's not much. They don't need much.
And Andy Dalton can do that and more. And I just, for all the Bear fans saying no, we don't really have room to judge quarterbacks because we've been so unlucky. So I think Andy Dalton has a franchise quarterback in Cincinnati. He's been a franchise quarterback. So us to get a franchise quarterback, when was the last time? Jay Cutler was the last time that happened. So if we can do it the right way this time, I think good things can come. That's I'm thinking about that.
Well, Bears fans would agree with you. Everyone's hoping for something, man. Anything.
Please.
There's a quarterback they've never had a quarterback that can throw for over 4,000 yards. And I'm pretty sure Andy Dalton's done that at least once, hasn't he? I'm looking it up right now for you. 4,000 yards. Bears have never had a 4,000-yard quarterback. And I think Andy Dalton did.
I would imagine that he has.
I'm going to check it for you guys right now. Stat department on it.
Yeah, they're buzzing in. What we got?
And let's see. He's got 2 4,000-yard seasons. So look at that. That's 2 more than any Bears quarterback in the history of the Bears franchise.
Wow.
Insane.
Yeah, so again, what's the most touchdowns he's ever had? I'm curious.
He had 33 in 2013, but he also threw 20 picks that year. So that's pretty juicy. That's a decent amount.
Next to that. It's no Jameis Winston 30 for 30.
Hey, that's impressive. No one might ever do that again.
And 5,000 yards.
Yeah, he led the NFL in passing, and now he's going to be a free agent.
Another free agent. But I think I just saw that the Tampa Bay Bucks are expected not to.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. He's going to be hitting the market, it looks like. And he wanted $30 million.
We'll get in that another day.
Hey, 30 for 30 gets you $30 million.
Oh, 30 interceptions, 30 touchdowns, paid $30 million that offseason.
Yes, sir.
Oh, my God, bro. But, all right, so we got Andy Dalton. We got Derek Carr so far. Obviously, no rumblings on Tom Brady or Phillip Rivers. No idea what's going on in New Orleans with Drew Brees and Taysom Hill. For me, that's one of the headlines of the offseason, what they're going to do there. But, all right, so regular NFL news. Today, we're recording Monday, March 2nd, 2020. We've seen Bud Dupree is expected to get tagged by the Steelers. And Hunter Henry, who a lot of Bears fans wanted to come over as a free agent tight end from LA, is going to expected to get franchise tagged by the Chargers. As unfortunate as it is, that was kind of expected, as Hunter Henry is one of the better skill position players on that team, one of the better tight ends in the league. So, Blake, any other takeaways from free agency so far, and any analysis on those moves?
Well, it's really turning now. You're even starting to hear reports of people already that are ready to sign contracts. Because Mike Florio, he reported, I believe, that Jack Conklin was going to sign with the Jets, and then Adam Schefter shot that down. Another one, Yannick Ngakoue, he got franchise tagged by the Jaguars, but he has told them, he tweeted it out himself. So, I mean, if you don't trust sources, it was literally Yannick Ngakoue himself. He said he is not going to be in Jacksonville next year, so they will be looking for a trade partner, and they probably will be able to get a pretty high pick for him. I mean, that guy is a premier pass rusher in the league. I think he's had over 8 sacks in every single one of his seasons. He's been to Pro Bowls. I'm not sure about all pros, but he is one of the best in the league. He's underrated. People don't talk about it enough. So he's going to be a guy that's available. I mean, this is a low-key loaded free agent market because you got pretty much top-end guys at every spot. You got a guy like Brandon Scherf. I think he's going to get franchise tagged as well. I know, Austin, you brought him up as a potential guy for the Bears, but it does not look like the Redskins are going to let him go. But Jameis Winston, like I brought it up there, I think that one's going to be really interesting to see because I want to see how much money he actually gets because there were the reports that he wanted $30 million. I don't think anybody's going to pay him that. The Buccaneers are going to let him go, and now all of a sudden the Buccaneers quarterback situation is very interesting because they might be a team that's looking to trade up for Justin Herbert or Jordan Love. Bruce Arians likes those big arm guys. Both of those guys have big arms. So it's really going to be an interesting offseason. And then we haven't even talked about Tom Brady again. Still, nobody knows what he's going to do. So once some of these dominoes start falling, it's going to be awesome. And next season, we're going to see a lot of familiar faces in different places.
Lots of places and different faces.
Yeah, different places, different faces. Whatever.
I'm just trying to imagine the different. I look around at all these faces. I just see all these different places. That's hilarious. Yeah, lots of stuff going on in NFL. We're going to see it ramp up in the next two. These next couple shows are going to be ramped up.
They're going to be fun, man.
We're going to bring you Bears news and NFL news to cover.
Also, real fast, we didn't talk Nick Witkowski.
Oh, K-Witt getting looked at by the Packers.
Yeah, getting looked at by the Packers. Another guy like Adrian Amos.
Amos.
That hurts, but I mean, you got to secure the bag.
Is it Amos or Amos?
Amos. I think it can pretty much go either. I've said both. I honestly, I don't even.
Amos has really bad words that rhyme with it, so I'm going to go with Amos.
Okay, for sure. We'll take that. We'll take that. But I would hate to see Nick go to the Packers. Just another guy that I would like the Bears to keep. But, I mean, that might be one of those guys that gets priced out of their range, Yeah. Because Blake Martinez, another inside linebacker for the Packers, he's a free agent. He's looking for $10 million a season. And I'm not sure what Kwiatkowski's going to get, but it's going to be less than $10 million. I'd be shocked if he got $10 million.
Oh, you think so?
I would be shocked.
I think he's going to be right around $10 million. I think he's going to get more than Danny T.
Oof. Oh, I think so. I think so too. Just because Nick, he's got the age. He's going to have a little bit.
I just feel longer. Like Nick put out, man. I just feel like if he wants close,
he puts out.
10, all right,
I'm messing with you.
He does well. You're right. I don't know why I used put out in that context, but he did really well. He did really well this the end of the season. And man, if people look at the tape from the last couple of games of the year, they're going to be like, this guy's worth what he wants. Let's bring him over. So we'll see. It's looking more and more likely that KPL and Danny T are coming back. Which I'm totally okay with. It's going to be tough to see K-Witt on the other side. We tweeted something out from the House Hall Brawl page, and we were like, would you turn your back on K-Witt if he went to the Packers? Because obviously Amos leaving was kind of sour, but K-Witt leaving, it's, I think it's understandable. It depends if the Bears offer him something he denies that goes to Green Bay. So we'll have to see. But, I saw a response. Forgot who it was from, but it was like, no, I want him to go to Green Bay so that he can cover Austin Hooper and get burned all night. And I was like, it's very true.
Hey, we take that for sure.
So that's put Cohen or put Austin Hooper on him. I mean, mismatch.
Find that mismatch, yeah.
Find that mismatch. So I'm not going to start talking shit on him until he officially leaves, though. So we'll save that for another day. But any other news out of the NFL realm, NFL free agency realm?
I think we covered a lot of it right now. It's just the coming weeks. I mean, trades still technically can be negotiated right now just because, last year Joe Flacco trade happened before the combine even happened. So these rumors are legit. Teams can talk. I don't know exactly what the tampering rules are. It's not like they can actually negotiate contracts. I'm sure there's, stuff going on the side. But, stuff is happening right now. The wheels are turning and we're only going to see more dots connected. Yes, sir. Damn, I hear you. You got that voice.
Thank you. I didn't get this set up just for podcast. I actually sing too.
He's recording. Album coming soon. Halas Hall. Wait, we're going for a Grammy next.
We're going for a Grammy. Yeah, so, moving on from the NFL, we can get into our favorite segment. We have no interview this week because you're just going to listen to us and you're going to like it. You're going to like it.
Yeah, that's what you get.
This is us. This is us. But with the Big Brawl Network launch, we figured, advertise the new website a little, have some fun, talk football, and get into our big board segment. So this week, Blake picked the topics. We're doing fast food. So Blake, I do have to ask you. Breakfast food. I'm sorry. We did fast food last 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Yep.
We're doing breakfast food. So Blake, I have to ask you, are we talking dishes or are we talking individual food?
I was actually wondering the same thing, but I kind of went with a little bit of both here. Okay. It can be a dish. We'll lay that ground rule right away. It can be pretty much anything.
Okay.
No hold bars here for breakfast.
We can do that. All right. I'll start first since you picked topics. So we'll move into our big board. We need to get Ryan on to make a music for this. Welcome to the big board.
Big board.
All
There you
right.
go. There's your jingle right there. You got it. You made it.
He's
Perfect.
gonna cut that and play before every time now. All right. So my fast food number 4. We're gonna do. What am I gonna do? I'm between a couple of things. I'm gonna start with a fruit. Don't judge me for this. Bananas.
I'm not judging at all because I eat bananas for breakfast more than I care to admit.
I eat. I'll walk out in the kitchen and I'll see like a thing of bananas. I'll grab one just by habit and I'll eat it, and then I'll go back like an hour later and I'll grab another one, like not even thinking.
Okay, Austin confirmed. Big banana guy.
Big banana guy. Big banana guy.
Yeah, dude, I'm with you. Bananas. That's pretty much a go-to breakfast food. Yeah, man.
Get that.
It's light too. It's not like too heavy, and it's really easy. It's not like an apple where like apples kind of like when I eat apples, like they get kind of juicy. And it's like I kind of have to have like the napkin, around it, and because I was gonna say something, but I was gonna get hit with the pause later on, so I'm gonna hold my tongue. They got me good last week.
Judge me, but hey, I like the like banana flavored ice cream and stuff like that. That's my jam. Like bananas are kind of my go-to, especially in the morning. Like that's kind of where I'm at. What about you? What's number 4 for you? And we lost him.
Don't say that, man.
There he is. He's back.
I'm here. Yep. All right. I'm back.
All right, bananas. All right. You want to go number 4? You got anything to say about bananas?
No, I said my stuff about bananas. I had it. Number 4 for me is my go-to cereal. I ate it for a lot of growing up. That sugary goodness, and that's Reese's Puffs, man. You get that in peanut butter, and I'm convinced there's probably that should be another big board segment. Low key, I just came up with that top duos because peanut butter and chocolate is up there, and that is why I love. Dude, we're scheming live on the podcast. This is what the hell it's all about. This is what Brawl Network does. We never sleep. We're recording podcasts. We're coming up with segments on the fly. But I got Reese's Puffs at number 4. Chocolate and peanut butter doesn't get any better than that. And then you put it in a cereal, just gives me my sugar fix for the day as a child, which was probably not good, but it is what it is. Can't take it back now.
Not bad.
All right, number 3 for you.
All right, so I'm gonna go out of the ordinary. Out of this, it's not gonna be a food. It's gonna be a drink, and it's your place, Egg Harbor.
Egg Harbor. Shout out.
Strawberry orange juice. I again, like I say this probably every 3 episodes. I grew up in the suburbs of Illinois. Moved to PA when I was 12 and moved back. I grew up on the strawberry orange juice. I grew up on that stuff. We used to go to
out of the bottle.
Get a pitcher of. My mom would get a pitcher. It would have the pulp in it. You tell how fresh it was, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Whoo!
It is fresh because they make that in house.
It
Cooks do it.
So good, bro. That is my go-to every time.
Yeah, it's one of our specialties. I have to recommend. I recommend it to every single table I go to, man. First thing I say is like, I got strawberry orange juice. Just let me know. I got you. It's the gas.
you just whip out a couple oranges and start doing it.
Just doing it fresh at the table. Squeezing them. Getting them ready to go. Get the little, There we go.
That's a pause. That's pause worthy.
God damn it. We can't go one episode.
People can't see you as you're talking. So
I know. It's tough. I know. That was very bad visual. We're recording a podcast. This is all audio, and here I am doing stuff on the camera. But all right, number 3 for me.
We'll be up real quick. We'll be up on YouTube though. I'll put it up on YouTube. Yeah. This is a great episode to see visually. So if you want to check it out,
see me here. I'll do it again for you. Here.
Yeah,
double down.
Just squeeze out that orange juice. All right, what are we on now? Number 3.
Number 3. Number 3 for me is French toast. It's my favorite thing to use with syrup. I've never really been a big pancake guy. Not that I hate pancakes, just not my favorite. Waffles are good too, but nothing like that French toast, man. I used to live with my grandma back in the day. She used to whip that up, man, and it always hit the spot every single morning.
All right. Me number 2, breakfast bowls. And when I take breakfast bowls, you take hash browns, you take a over easy egg, with the yolk still, jiggling, not cooked. You put it in the bowl, you mix it up, you put some special sauce. There's just like, I don't even know. It's Kennington's special sauce, and you put it in there, mix it up. It's literally 3 ingredients. You can put a little bit of seasoning in there if you want, and it's incredible. It's very, very easy to make, and it's extremely. If you mix it up, the yolk gets all over the hash browns and stuff. It's amazing. And my number 1 is similar, but it's not the same. But that's kind of my number 3 breakfast. My number 2 breakfast food, and I'm gonna have to put it next to Frosted Flakes. I have to, because I grew up on Frosted Flakes, bro. If you pour the milk in those Frosted Flakes, let it sit for like 5 minutes, let it get a little soggy.
I feel it. There's that middle area with cereals, like
Yes.
with all
Yes.
cereals where it's like you don't want it too soggy, but you
Yes.
don't want it like fresh out the
But
box.
like the content from the cereal, like soaked into the milk, and
Hmm.
you can taste it
Oh
in every
yeah.
bite.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
Well, that's like with
yes,
Lucky Charms. Like that's how I think
yes.
about it.
The
When you let the Lucky
marshmallows.
Charms like so, and then you
Yeah.
get that kind of like sugary milk taste, and
Yep. And then
it hits
and
different.
then you go to school and it's 9 a.m. and you're jumping off the walls and you're getting
You're already ready
detention.
to rock, man.
Yeah.
Getting sent to the principal's office
You're getting
before 10.
you're getting
That's the
sent
goal.
home. You're getting sent home before 11 because you got suspended for going crazy.
Calls home all day.
All right, what's your number two?
My number
Breakfast
two
food.
is one of my go-to breakfast items right now. When I have time, I don't always get to do it because I don't always have time. I don't have that like preconceived notion to wake up way early for work to just to make my breakfast. But mine is a scrambled egg bagel sandwich, and I usually throw a little cheddar
Oh,
cheese on there. Toast up
okay.
that bagel a little bit, man. It's good and hearty. Gets me
Hey,
going for the morning. It's pretty much all I need. I'll have that with a banana. That's usually what I do. Have a sandwich like that with a banana, and that's the perfect amount what I need for breakfast to at least hold me over till have a late lunch at some point. So that's definitely my go-to. It's decently quick to. It's not like it takes a super long time to make scrambled eggs, but definitely always hits the spot for me.
man, I'll tell you, a good toasted bagel, like a really good crisp bagel with
Yeah,
the scrambled eggs, even cheese. I'm allergic, but I
yeah,
can throw that dairy-free cheese on there with the bacon.
yeah,
Woo!
yeah.
Man,
Like breakfast food is so like versatile.
it
Like
is.
you can literally put it pretty much like eggs. Like you can make eggs with pretty much anything at any time of the day. Bacon, like even salt, like anything.
Hey, breakfast for dinner is underrated,
It
very
is
underrated.
very underrated.
All right, my number one is, there goes my mic. It is uh eggs Benedict.
Eggs Benedict. Okay, you're a
Everywhere I
hollandaise
go.
guy, huh?
Oh, big hollandaise
Big
sauce guy.
hollandaise. Okay.
Huge, huge. I
Well, it
love
wasn't
that
on the
shit.
sauces though. Wasn't on the top sauces.
No, it wasn't. What
That's
are
a
you
sleeper.
doing?
Got missed the
Oh
hollandaise.
God. Honorable mention for sauces from last week, hollandaise sauce.
All right, we'll go
But
back. Cut that up. Put that back
yeah,
in there.
I gotta go eggs Benedict. With the, what are those called? Over easy eggs. I think those are also over
Poached.
easy. Poached.
Poached.
That's it. Poached
Yeah.
eggs with the You probably know all your eggs.
Hollandaise, Canadian
Hollandaise sauce,
bacon. At least
Canadian
that's how
bacon.
it is at Egg Harbor.
Woo! Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I ordered it at Egg
I've
Harbor. It's
actually
so.
never had an Eggs Benedict.
Have you ever had hollandaise sauce?
I haven't.
What?
I see it all the time.
You have
Everyone
to
tells
try.
me it's gas, but I've never had it. I don't know why that poached egg kind of makes me nervous a little bit.
No,
I've never had poached
you
eggs,
gotta
nor have
imagine
I had an Eggs Benedict.
you mix it in with the hollandaise sauce. Honestly, I know what you mean, but there's a difference between when you crack open an egg and put it in a smoothie,
Yeah.
you could taste the yolk.
Like
Then
that
when you
parched.
cook it, make it poached or over
Yeah,
easy,
yeah.
it's a big difference. But yeah, I understand that.
That's got to be on my list because I got multiple people, even in the last
You
couple of
have
weeks,
to.
like telling me that I have to have an Eggs
You have
Benedict.
to. One of these
Hey,
times.
hey, you know what? I work at breakfast place, so I can literally pretty much have it whenever I want. So,
That's it.
yeah, I'll get back to you guys. I'll let you know. To be determined.
Ah,
My number one for me, I'm gonna do a little number one here because you got the drinks. I wasn't thinking about drinks. I'm gonna put coffee up there because I am just a
okay.
coffee addict. I drink
Yeah.
coffee all the time. I'm not gonna have that as my number one food. I just want to get that out there because coffee is definitely the number one thing I need in the morning, no matter what, like over food, over anything. But number one breakfast food, it was an easy one for me. It's basic, but I don't care, and it's bacon, bro. Well done, crispy bacon. I don't want it
I
limp.
agree.
I want
Well
it
done
well
as shit,
done.
too.
Like, dude,
Yeah.
I don't even care if it's black, bro. Like, I want my bacon crispy. It always hits. And you talk about versatility, bro. Bacon on anything, like any kind of sandwich. Just eating it by itself for breakfast. Like you could put it in pasta if you've ever had carbonara. Put a little bacon bits in there. Even at Egg Harbor, we have a waffle that we put bacon bits in. All right, so like,
Is
I
that
mean,
something you like?
I haven't not had it, but it sounds good.
That's
I
another
haven't
thing
had
you're
it
gonna
yet.
have to do. This is
That's
part
we
of your
got. There's
job
so
as the
many things.
co-host of this podcast is to go try Eggs Benedict and the
Oh my
bacon.
god, bro! I'm already fat. You're gonna make me so fat. I got all these things I gotta try because you're talking about Chick-fil-A, the Polynesian
Oh
Chick-fil-A
my
sauce
god!
links.
You better
Talking
start
about
taking a
taco
list
sauce.
down.
Dude, these last few weeks, man, these guys just want us like we should just start a food podcast at this point because everyone's just voting on these food items,
Oh,
dude.
that's true.
Like
God,
making
y'all
me
are
hungry
hungry.
every
Y'all
week.
are
That's what
hungry
I'm
as
saying.
hell.
Maybe because it's like always
Eat
out
some
right
food
around
and then vote
lunchtime.
next week.
This is a little correlation here for you. Maybe because most people, it's like I think it was tweeted out today around 10 o'clock, 10:30. People start voting. They get on their lunch break. I bet you that's why. Hey, you know what?
Oh, breakfast food. I love that shit.
Out in the like
Eat and then vote
yeah,
next week.
yeah. There we go. So maybe we'll try doing it at night. We'll see what happens, or maybe we'll just omit food items altogether. But it seems to be the popular choice. They keep winning.
Next week we have to put one food item on there and then at random everything else.
All right. Well, if the food item wins again, then you guys are. I mean, I feel you. I'm hungry all the time too, so I can't knock anybody.
All right. So to recap, I had bananas, and then I had. Oh my God! I always do this.
Strawberry orange juice.
Strawberry orange juice from Egg Harbor.
Yes, sir.
And then I had the over easy egg, or the bowl with the over easy egg, the hash brown, the breakfast bowl, over easy egg, hash browns, and the Kennington's special sauce, which was not on my sauces list either, but it's an honorable mention. And then the eggs Benedict with the poached eggs, the biscuit, the Canadian bacon. I love Canadian bacon, bro. And then the hollandaise sauce on top, which Blake is going to try and get back to us.
Yes,
Blake,
sir. By next week, I will talk about it to you guys.
That's it. You better be.
I will be. I'll get back to you for sure. My four were number 4, Reese's Puffs, 3, French toast, 2, my scrambled egg sandwich with cheddar cheese on a bagel, and then number 1, bacon/coffee.
Yeah, I'll throw my honorable mention as Reese's Puffs in there too, because my mom really hated when I was a kid that I would have sugary cereal and shit. Yeah. So whenever I would, it would be Reese's Puffs or Frosted Flakes. So I got to throw that in there. That shit's good.
Yeah, right. For sure.
Well, that concludes this show. It was a good one. We had fun. Lots of fun. Arguing. This is a great visual podcast, so make sure you check it out on the YouTube channel if you can. You guys know the deal. We'll be back again next week. One of these times, Danny will show up and you'll all be surprised.
Will be here. We don't know exactly when, but one day he'll be back and it'll be like he never even left.
Yep.
Like the Bears, kind of, except in 2028.
Danny's back. Bears are back. You know, when Danny's back, the Bears are back. That's what's
going to happen. Yes, sir.
All right, so you guys know what it is. Go to www.thebrawlnetwork.com. Check out Chicago Bears page. Check out our Halas Hall page. Under your teams, under Chicago Bears, you'll see the Halas Hall Brawl page. Check out the message board. Sign in, log in, make an account, have some fun. We're going to be adding new features, so just stay tuned, have fun, and thanks for tuning in. Next week, we're going to be coming back with all news and NFL and everything that we talk about, our big board again. Make sure you eat before you vote if you don't want to do food. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back with more Bears stuff next week and NFL. So bear down, go Bears, and we'll see you next week.
Bears.